Well, howdy, and welcome to Conversations with Coyotes. My name is Bravado, I am a coyote, and this is The Conversation. Well, it is time for another Q&A episode, and luckily y'all sent me in some questions last week so we can actually have one. And these are actual real questions from y'all, and definitely not ones that I made up. Or are they? They're not. Are they? They're not, I promise. Probably. Well, regardless, let's just get to answering them, alright? Y'all wouldn't think that the life of a coyote would be all that complex, and I wish I could agree with you. I wish I could say all that matters to me is a nice warm bed and a steady supply of micros to crunch on, but sadly there's just so much stuff. Some of it's external, and some of it's internal, and some of it's things, and some of it's people, and there's just everything everywhere. So minimalism right now feels more like a pipe dream than anything else. But that's not to say I don't admire the philosophy, because I certainly do. I'm just nowhere close to that at the moment. Music is amazing, and I love it as a catalyst for the things that I create, and using it as a soundtrack to inspire visuals. But what those visuals are is bound to change with time, and as my abilities change and my resources change. So the things that I'll be creating in the future may not be like the things that I'm creating now, similarly to how the things I'm creating now aren't that similar to what I was creating 5 years ago. But that's not to say I'll never do those things again. I just gotta kind of follow and see where it takes me. And I hope you'll stay with me on that journey, because I really like having you along. Now, I could just tell you everything around me is my inspiration, and that would be true to some point because there are so many great solutions to be found just by observing everyday life, but I'm not going to give you a cop-out response like that, and instead I'm going to tell you the 3 A's: Apple, Audi, and Anderson, because all 3 of them approach their design problem solving in similar ways, and their solutions are clean, consistent, and clever. And those are 3 traits that I strive to bring to my work. Oh boy, I am so disappointed in TikTok not being 100% Kesha music.
Don't stop, make it pop, DJ blow my speakers up tonight. I'ma fight till we see the sunlight.
But also, I just have my paws so full of everything else that I haven't had time to look into it, and I don't know that I ever will. Either way, though, I'm glad that people are having fun on there, and as long as no one's hurting anybody, I think it's great to have another place for people to be creative. Oh my goodness, there is so much to unpack here, so I'll try to move through it really quickly. First of all, welcome to the fandom, and we're happy to have you. Now, second of all, the way it's worded makes you sound like you're really self-conscious about your age with regards to the rest of the fandom. And when you see a lot of very young, very visible furries, I can understand how that might be the case. But what you need to realize is that there's a huge furry population who have been in the fandom longer than some of those young furries have been alive. So really, your age is not a factor here. With that in mind, the rest of this advice is really general for anyone who's just found the fandom. You want to get a sense of how furries interact with each other, and you want to meet as many people as you can. The ways to do that are A, get on furry Twitter, and just start following people, and you don't have to keep following them if you realize you don't like them. Just get out there, follow, and see who's following who and who's talking to who. Do a search for your local community plus furry and see if you can find a local furry group to join. Go to meetups if they have them, join the Telegram group if there is one. Again, you don't have to necessarily participate right away, but it's a way to get a sense of what personalities are out there and how they interact with each other. And then finally, you can do the same thing by looking for furry special interest groups. Like, if you really like cars, you can join a group about furries talking cars. And it might not lead to these big, long-lasting friendships, but it could build bridges to meeting other people, and those might lead to long-lasting friendships. The whole point is the more people you know in furry, the better the experience becomes, and so the goal is to start getting there as quickly as possible. Now, there's so much more to talk about, but I just want to cut it off there, so I hope this is helpful advice for a beginner, And if you want to talk more, just hit me up on Twitter. Well, we did it. We answered every single question. There's literally no more knowledge that I can impart to y'all. So thank y'all to those who submitted questions, and I hope my answers were helpful or at least coherent. And I'll be back sometime soon with more talking. And in the meantime, thank y'all for watching, and I'll catch y'all later.